On our list, we have the 2005 album Lost and Found. Seems to be a lot of people's favorite Mudvayne album. I give this album a B. I really felt like they were trying to capture more of the mainstream with this album. The album overall is very good. This album is absolutely a grower, and it really has gotten better each listen. 4 favorite songs off of it are Choices, Forget to Remember, All That You Are, and Pulling the String. Very true, in my opinion, to Mudvayne's sound. And continue listening to this album, so who knows, in a year from now, I actually could see this album going higher on the list for me. Up next, we have the 2008 release, The New Game. I am actually going to give this album an A. I know that's extremely controversial. I've seen lots of reviews on Reddit and other places where fans really hate this album. I think it's fantastic. I mean, really, from the start, like the first 5 tracks grabbed me immediately. First listen on this album, kind of a more radio-friendly feel. The thing that it was really lacking for me is the classic Mudvayne. I don't hear a lot of classic Mudvayne on this album. I think this album is extremely too overhated. It's very good. If I'm rating this album just as a rock album, this is actually probably an S-tier album. When I go to Mudvayne, I really am looking more for something like LD50, End of All Things to Come, and the beginning of All Things to End. That's really what I'm looking for me. So even though this is a very solid rock album, I'm not like a huge rock fan. But again, if you're a rock fan, you may actually really love this album. And I have seen this album be number 1 for some people. So, okey-doke. And the last release from Mudvayne was the 2009 self-titled album, Mudvayne. I'm going to give it a C to decently meh. It's not bad at all, but it's nothing new or extraordinary to me about Mudvayne. There's some great heavy tracks that I feel like Mudvayne goes back to more, trying to be what they were on LD50 and End of All Things to Come. So I get why heavy metal fans like this album a lot more. And if I have a limited amount of time to listen to one Mudvayne album, then I'm either probably going to pick one of these in the S tier, maybe Lost and Found. As I said in the other part of the video, it's really growing on me, so I am listening to this quite a bit right now. But probably these 2 or this one I'd probably listen. All right, so what you see here is not my official ranking. I'm going to move all these albums down here and rank them worst to best. So number 6, or the worst one, which again still is not bad, is going to be the 2009 Mudvayne self-titled album. Coming in at number 5, we're actually going to have The New Game. Number 4 is going to be Lost and Found. Number 3 is The Beginning of All Things to End. Number 2 is going to be LD50. And this is the best Mudvayne album, in my opinion, is going to be The End of All Things to Come. Love both these albums. LD50 is a perfect album. I just think there's some type of uniqueness about The End of All Things to Come, which is, not only is it a perfect album, it's very different than any other type of new metal album I've ever heard. So for that reason, this is my favorite Mudvayne album. Definitely recommend. I'd say these are the strongest, obviously, but hey, it's Mudvayne. If you're new to Mudvayne, check them out. A great band.